In the last episode, we talked about the possibility of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X being delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, Sony doesn't seem to be as concerned as we are, because today they unveiled the DualSense, the new standard controller for the PlayStation 5. We're going to run down the features and see how it stacks up against pretty much any other controller over some coffee. Today, we were strolling Twitter.
You were scrolling on Twitter.
I was strolling through Twitter.
I was cleaning and starting to set on my PS4 for Final Fantasy.
So fucking excited. Kind of wish I could play with that controller now.
I know.
But getting too ahead of ourselves. I think it was Greggy from Kind of Funny that tweeted out the picture, and I thought it was a joke.
Yeah, I thought it was fake when you showed me it.
Because they didn't say anything. I didn't know. There was no big news piece. That was the only thing I saw on Twitter.
Well, they need to redeem themselves after that reveal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit of a mess. I enjoyed it, but it was...
for people like us who actually kind of know tech things.
Yeah, it was great. I learned a lot. A lot of things that I feel like I should have already known, but it wasn't great for the consumer as a whole to watch. But I saw the picture. Game Over Greggy tweeted it out. And then I saw the PlayStation blog link and kind of fell in love with it. I love the way it looks.
It looks great. Like right here, we'll probably put the picture of it.
No, I'll probably slap it up in the middle of us, like right there.
Right here. This controller right here looks perfect to me. And all my stuff is white. I like the kind of color scheme.
White and black.
White and black. My PC is white. My PS4 Pro is white. My Xbox One X is white. We modded my Switch to be white. So that they're already showing a white controller is just...
And you have all black furniture.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely perfect for you.
Sony is talking to me with this controller.
I think talking to a lot of people, especially like the features were ran down a little more simply than I guess Xbox did, because I compared the press releases. God, the Xbox press release was annoyingly confusing to kind of get information out of, because it was in a Q&A style thing, and the questions weren't, they're mostly centered around the design of the controller and not the technological improvements.
Well, I don't think there really is for the new Series X controller, other than was there a share button now?
For the most part, that's the only addition.
And it could run with a Xbox One.
It's completely backwards
PC,
compatible
with the
Xbox One series of consoles. That's where they got the name from. The Xbox One series of consoles. It's all kind of coming together now. But yeah, it's backwards compatible with those. You can use it on PC, all of that. And as far as we know, the PS5 controller is not backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4, which sucks, because once I saw the controller, I was like, oh, okay, this looks like the best PlayStation controller so far. Yeah. It has a body shape a little more similar to the traditional Xbox controller, which is what people wanted the most, because that's what I've heard most people say they want out of a controller. Ooh, and I burped too, Jesus.
Well, see, the thing with the PlayStation controller I always hear people want is they want the offset sticks instead of the parallel sticks, which that we still got.
I have no problem with the parallel sticks.
I'm fine with it.
I've never had an issue with them. I don't understand the big problem. I don't feel a difference when I'm playing.
I do sometimes with first person shooters and like third person shooters. Offset sticks are better. Yeah.
I would, I guess in the general sense there, but for me, like, I mean, I've been using a DualShock since the DualShock came out, since the first one. So my hands have always been set and ready for those sticks. Like, that's just how I play.
I also just think that with the parallel sticks, when you're playing some games, sometimes your thumbs can collide. And I really haven't had that problem with the PS4.
I've never had that problem with the PS4.
But I used to have it with the PS3 and the PS2.
PS3 controller sucks.
It's because they made the PS4 controller
beefier.
Yeah. They made the DualShock 4.
But a real quick rundown of the different features. The DualSense, as it's called, Has haptic feedback in the triggers. I think it's completely throughout the controller.
I think so. But some of these things we already knew.
They're just a little better explained.
Yeah, like the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers.
The haptic feedback where you feel the bumpy road, the adaptive triggers where you feel the tension of the bowstring. That's the examples they've been using. The big difference, they've replaced the share button with the create button. Which is just them expanding on it. Share. Xbox has taken share button.
Be a creator.
Create things instead of sharing things. It's great marketing.
Yeah.
That is wonderful marketing.
I like this whole built-in mic array.
So
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's great. As they say for quick chat, they even say in the press release, if you're going to be speaking in a long form, just get a headset.
Yeah.
Because this is literally an array of microphones that is in your controller. So I assume there's going to be some sort of dead zone behind, like there's going to be some sort of noise canceling.
Fucking Sony knows what I'm doing at all times. First, I have Google and Amazon and Apple knowing what I do all the time. Now it's Sony.
But that would actually be the feature I'm looking forward to, the possible feature I'm looking forward to the most. Is there going to be integration with any sort of voice commands?
I think they will. There should be, because they had it with the PlayStation Eye, or what's it called? The PS4 camera? I don't even fucking
PlayStation 4 camera. I would love that, obviously, because I like my voice control stuff. Everybody has my information anyway. I'm an open book. Fucking,
I'm team
ask
Google.
me, I'll tell you. Obviously, you got the home, the phone, all of it.
Pixel are actually really good phones. Other than my fucked up mic, but I knew about it, and we talked about it, I think, on the last time.
I think the big thing about the Pixel phones is they are wonderful in their technologies and the software. The actual hardware of the physical phone itself is not the best quality.
Yeah. So if you're sick of iPhones like I was, just get a Pixel. It's the iPhone of the Androids.
Yeah.
But back to the PS5 controller.
PS5 controller.
DualSense.
The dual tone design, as we were already in love with, the white on top of the black. I think it looks like the controller's wearing a helmet. Like a really fucking awesome space battle helmet.
A little.
Scroll down.
Oh, you got a picture?
Yep,
okay.
I got both pictures up.
Yeah.
So I think it looks kind of like a Covenant helmet. As funny as that is as a PlayStation controller, but it does. That's what it reminds me of.
I see a Stormtrooper.
Yeah, a lot of people are making that comparison.
I definitely see a Stormtrooper.
Either way, I love it.
Yeah,
I really do love it. They split the light bar on the sides.
When I see this controller, I think next gen. When I see the Series X, it's a new Xbox One controller.
Yeah, which is actually the name of it so far is new wireless controller, which is a little disappointing. As I was saying, they split the light bar down the sides of the touchpad instead of having it in the back.
Yeah.
And the little ring in the front with the newer.
They should have just taken it away because I hate the light bar.
I love the light bar. I have always loved the light bar.
They used it for like 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used it for, the only thing I remember is Killzone Shadowfall. You could tell your health by it.
A lot of games did that.
Yep. That's the only one I realized that did it. And I remember Until Dawn, you couldn't move the controller.
Well, yeah, but they didn't have to.
They showed the light bar.
It
just showed the light bar, but that's the only thing. Other than that, what was the light bar used for?
I mean,
to drain your battery.
They used it in Resident Evil 7 for your health, I believe.
Like every other game did, but
most importantly, it was used for the PlayStation VR, which brings up an interesting point. The light bar is no longer visible to the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So
just gonna go straight to the Move controllers. That's all.
Is that what's happening?
Or VR controllers. I don't think they call them Move.
I think they still call them Move. I think they call them Move controllers, not Move wands anymore. But what does this say about PlayStation VR? Will there be how soon will there be a new SKU if this controller?
Oh, I think we're getting it announced side by side with the PS5.
You think so?
I think so. I think we're gonna get PlayStation VR 2.0. I think it's gonna be basically like the Quest, or what's the one that is wireless
Quest.
And all that shit. It's gonna be like the Quest, and then I'll finally buy it because
we gotta work on our posture. We're both slumping so much.
These chairs fucking suck.
I know.
I'm sitting on Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton's face right now.
But come true.
The only thing I truly care about this new DualSense is, please, for the love of God, Sony, for the love of God, PlayStation, please do not make the battery life on this controller 5 hours.
So they very specifically mentioned the battery life and did not mention what the projected battery life is. They talked about how they're trying to fit all of this new technology inside while keeping it light and keeping the battery sensible.
Because I swear to God, with the DualShock 4, I had to charge it like in between a game session. Like I'm playing the game.
At this point, I'm fine with that because I've come across this new issue. Xbox has keyboard and mouse support.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing that, the controller has to stay on. But you can't change the amount of time that the controller turns off at for the Xbox. You can do that for the PlayStation. I get it. It's a battery saving feature. Give me the fucking option. I'd rather have a controller that dies quickly, but I can actually customize.
I didn't turn my phone off, guys.
Than a controller that just fucking turns off whenever it wants to.
Yeah.
I never really had a problem with the battery life of PlayStation 4, but most of my time playing PlayStation 4 games, I've been right in front of the system.
Yeah.
I've played most of them at a desk, or I've played very close to my TV. So it's never really been an issue for me.
Yeah. No, it's a pain in the fucking ass.
But yeah,
I know a lot of people hate it.
A 4 to 5 hour battery life is a little ridiculous for a controller.
For like the fucking Switch Pro controller, you get what, 40 hours?
The Switch Pro controller is insane. It's
like I'm pretty sure I charged that thing 3 times.
You cannot use that as a comparison point because that thing is a fucking masterpiece.
I don't know how they got that battery life and has. I mean, I guess it's not as technically advanced, but like you still have the HD rumble,
the NFC,
the NFC, and the gyroscope. Like that thing should drain.
And it's not even heavy. It's
light as fuck.
Very comparable in size to.
It's one of my favorite controllers.
It's one of the best. The only problem for me is I have large hands, so it doesn't fit well in my hand.
No, I think the Switch controller is definitely better than for big hands and the Joy-Cons, without doubt.
Oh, the Joy-Cons aren't even on the list. Joy-Cons are complete garbage. Yeah. They're the worst controller I think I've used since the like knockoff Genesis controllers because they're just uncomfortable.
Well, I'm hoping that this controller can rank in my top 5.
I'm thinking it will. It's got the new angle triggers that they did, which they didn't show. Did they? I didn't really see them.
They might have.
And a new texture for the grip, which goes in
Sounds
line.
very good.
It does. Goes in line with Xbox's new wireless controller. The problem
with when you add grips to controllers is sometimes they can peel off and then
No, you're not understanding. This isn't a grip. It's not like a rubber grip.
It's just a texture on it.
The grip of the controller, the grip is where you hold it.
Yeah.
They're calling the grip. It's textured.
Okay.
With like how the Xbox Elite controller has the textured triggers.
Yeah.
And like the new one, that's what it is.
Okay.
The new wireless controller for Xbox will also have the textured triggers and grip.
So I remember when not the Pro controller. What are they called again? The Elite controllers. The first Elite controller came out. Remember people were getting pissed off because like they were peeling off. The grips were peeling off.
It was everybody was really upset. Now, where Xbox definitely has a one-up, well, 2 one-ups. One would be the Dpad.
Yeah.
The atrocious. The PlayStation 5 Dpad, DualSense Dpad is atrocious.
I don't know. We haven't got the feel of it yet.
In comparison to what I'm looking at right now, which is the D-pad of the new wireless controller and the D-pad of the PlayStation 5 DualSense, it's shit.
But how many games do you actually use the D-pad for fully playing? Like some platformers?
Fighting games. Most platformers.
I don't use the D-pad for fighting games.
You're not a competitive fighter. No. That's the thing. If you're using a controller and you're trying to be adept in,
but if you're a competitive fighter, you're going to have a joystick.
That's not always true. You're
going to have a fight stick.
No, there are plenty of competitive controllers that very specifically use whatchamacallits.
I've only seen competitive fighters use the fight sticks, but
I think the concave D-pad on the new wireless controller makes a huge difference. I think it's it's definitely I'm pretty sure I can see it here. They have a concaveness to the D-pad buttons.
I've never had a problem with PlayStation's D-pad.
No, neither have I.
I think they're pretty solid D-pads.
The only D-pad I've ever had a problem with is Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Because it's not a D-pad.
Yeah.
It's 4 buttons with arrows on them.
And Dreamcast D-pad's pretty bad too, by the way.
I've got to say, I don't think I've ever used the D-pad on a Dreamcast.
It's pretty bad.
Like, I could not find a reason why I would want to. I didn't play fighting games on Dreamcast, so.
Yeah. But I'm excited for this controller. I'm really excited.
Yeah. I do kind of wish they had something akin to the new wireless controllers, DLI, the dynamic latency input.
Yeah.
Because they were touting that as this big thing where it can basically... It's communicating so much where it is guessing your next input.
Yeah, but I don't think this is going to be used mostly on the Xbox. It's definitely going to be used for xCloud. That's what.
No, they very much said it was for. It was also for just general games. This is to reduce the latency that is already present in console gaming.
I don't feel that much latency in console gaming.
Exactly, you don't feel it. You've grown up with console gaming,
and
we've grown up with the latency getting better and better with the wireless controllers. So this is going to be very interesting.
It's going to be exciting
console launch, because besides the consoles themselves, now the controllers are more interesting. I think a lot more interesting than the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox.
Oh, no. When they showed off the DualShock 4, oh my God, I was so excited because it was a completely different controller than
the DualShock 4, yeah. But I'm saying altogether, I'm excited about both of these. When I first touched an Xbox One controller, I hated it. I thought I couldn't stand it.
I thought it was perfect at first.
We had this conversation.
It's a better version of the Xbox 360 controller. That's all.
At the Cherry Home Wall, we had this conversation because we literally went back and forth. We tried the PlayStation 4 controller, we tried the Xbox controller, and I said I still don't like it. I thought it felt too plasticky. I've obviously come around since then, but it felt too toyish to me.
You think it's better than the DualShock 4 now, don't you?
No, I think it fits in my hands better than DualShock 4 because I have larger hands. It's a larger controller. Like, I'm a fan of the Duke.
You think that the Xbox One controller is bigger than? I think the DualShock 4 is huge. I get my hand cramps and hurts more when I'm using the DualShock 4. I have to feel like I have to space it out more.
Yes, but there's more surface area for my hand to be on an Xbox controller. Like, that's
the back.
Yeah, because I have places for my fingers to be.
Yeah,
on a PlayStation controller, my fingers are.
Well, that's because another thing is that the new wireless controller is still using batteries, removable batteries.
Yes, but supposedly you don't have to. If you have, supposedly it can work wirelessly. I mean, wired. It can be a wired controller without the batteries.
It's going to be wired, like a normal.
Can you still do that with the Xbox controller?
Yeah, you just plug it in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you do it with all the controllers.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
But I get why they do with the battery, so you have more flexibility. You could use regular batteries, use rechargeable batteries. You can
that's not why.
You can buy a new battery pack.
That's not why. It's to keep the initial price of the unit down.
No, I read from Phil Spencer, and there's this whole big
he said to give options and to keep the initial price of the unit down.
Why is it going to keep the...
Okay. Because that gives them another reason to hike up the price.
Okay.
To add on an extra $15 that they have to then make into a larger sum to make it an even amount to sell. That's stupid marketing. That's the marketing that gets in the way of shit.
It's really stupid because the DualSense obviously has more in it than... It's gonna. Okay.
We also don't know.
Same price.
We also don't know. We don't know if it's going to be the same price. It almost certainly will be. We have not had a big shakeup like that.
The only person who overprices their controllers is still Nintendo. They don't care what the other controllers.
I hate them so much. How do you charge that much for controllers, for any of your controllers?
Because they're good.
It's ridiculous.
Well, the Pro controller's least good. Now the Joy-Cons are good because now they don't have drift anymore. I think they fixed that shit.
No, still not good. Still garbage. The size of the Joy-Con is not helpful to anybody except children.
Well, how are you going to make a bigger Joy-Con? You have to make a bigger Switch.
For a bigger Joy-Con at this point. Just give me better fucking buttons.
All right. Well, hopefully these
I'm dressed like the controller.
Hopefully these controllers rank in our top 5. We'll see how it goes when...
Shit, both controllers are already in my top 5.
If these come out this year. I'm excited, like I keep saying. But we'll see how they feel in Tyler's big-ass hands. You guys can let us know how you feel about the controllers in the comments.
Or on Twitter, I'm at Ladybeard. He is
Fucci.
an asshole. So, the coffee's gone. Conversation's over.
You follow me on Twitter at Vucci. I'll go back on Twitter. I'm probably not gonna answer anybody. Probably won't even use it, but maybe I'll use it. We'll find out.
Coffee's gone. Conversation is over. Hit the like or dislike button. Subscribe if you would like. We would like it. We'd love to talk to you. Like we said, either on Twitter, in the comments.
I literally just said I won't talk to anybody.
Have a great weekend and stay safe, everybody.